When you start riding long, rough downhills, it's possible that you might start getting the dreaded arm pump.
There are a few different types of arm pump. Some people just get cramp in their hands or their thumbs and fingers. Other people get sore in the forearms and they just become rock solid and you can't do anything. Or it could just be a case of weak arms because you're not used to the rougher trails.
Whatever sort it is, it makes it very difficult to ride a bike properly. So here are our top tips for preventing arm pump. Whilst brake lever angle is down to personal preference, I do quite often find if people have their levers really low on the bar, so quite steep, that can bring weight up and onto the arms. And if you're riding with too much weight on the handlebars, that's putting all that through your arms, so that can lead to your arms getting really tired. Also, it's really important to start using one finger on the brake levers if you're using two.
It's a great habit to get into before any rough or long descent, is to try and just use your handlebars to like flex your forearms, stretching your forearm muscles off, and even do it to your thumbs, fingers, just trying to get everything nice and loose so perhaps it won't tense up so much when you get further down the trail and fatigue sets in. While riding, stay relaxed as possible. I think this is a major problem for guys who struggle with arm pump regularly, is that they are gripping so tight when riding, perhaps because they are so nervous of the terrain that they're going over. You need to have a solid grip, but not so much that you're hanging on for grim death. Try to look further down the trail and see the points where you can relax your grip a little.
Suspension setup is critical in avoiding arm pump, especially the fork. Try and get that right air pressure in there so you're using all the travel but not bottoming out too much. Too hard and you're going to get a lot of force and pressure through your arms. Equally, too soft and actually the front of the bike will be dropped in really low and that's going to put more weight onto the handlebar. So look at getting that preload as accurate as possible. So check your sag. If you're suffering with arm pump, it might be a good idea to actually try some different diameter grips. These are actually really small diameter, really thin, and they seem to suit me really well.
The size of your hands will make a massive difference, so don't be afraid to play around, try a few different types of grips and see what suits you best.
Try and take the weight off your arms. So in the rough stuff, try and drop your heels a little bit. It should feel like most of your weight is going through the pedals and not so much through the hands. Changing your setup slightly can help as well. Maybe making your bars slightly higher to bring that weight further back. Obviously, your leg muscles are way bigger and stronger than your arms, so relying on them is a way more efficient way to ride, especially when you're tackling long descents.
Consider getting out the main line on the edges of the trail. There'll be smoother lines and therefore less fatigue in your arms.
Definitely use the whole trail, makes a big difference. Sometimes you're actually on the wrong line, maybe on the inside of a corner, but it's that much smoother. You're going to be able to brake later, grip more and feel less fatigue from the bumps. So arm pump is a bit of a funny thing. Motocross riders get it a lot and I've heard all sorts of things like caffeine can cause it, tomatoes can cause it. You can even get arm pump surgery that doesn't always work.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, either you get it or you don't get it. But, you know, all these little tips that we give you, they may help a little bit, but I think the biggest cure is probably just riding your bike as much as you can, ride through it, and then you'll become stronger, more relaxed on the bike, and therefore no arm pump.
But it's definitely a good excuse, so why not click up here for our top excuses for riding badly on your mountain bike.
And click down here for our how to ride steep descents.
Or click on us to subscribe to GMBM.
Or all the wonderful buttercups that are around us, Neil.
Yeah, why not? Lovely.
Lovely in the valleys.